Hey guys, so I am working on a card project that I'm really excited about. I actually got the idea off Pinterest, um, and I kind of copied it and made my own version or whatever. And this is what it looks like. And the cool thing about this card is it's larger than my A7 cards, which A7 is this size right here. From here you can't tell, but it's actually a 5x7, and this is like, let's see, turn it around. I'll try and show you how much smaller this is. See? So this is my typical, the small one is the A7, which I have been working with. But this project, I decided to go jumbo size, which is like 5x7, because the size of the doilies that I used to create my flower holder, whatchamacallit, were too big to fit on my regular size, and I couldn't really cut the doilies. I guess I could, but that'd be a real pain. I just wanted to fold the doily to fit right. And this is still kind of large on my card, but I still think it looks pretty. So, what I did for this too, another thing that was different about this was I went to go find the envelopes for the jumbo cards, which are called A9s, and they didn't have the cards that came with the envelopes. They only had envelopes, and I looked and looked and looked, and yeah, they only make envelopes in the 5x7, which is an A9. And so I had to get my own cardstock paper, and that's what this is. It's just a regular sheet like this, except it's in white. So I got these, which is right here, and I folded them in half, and that made the A9 size envelope instead of the smaller one. So anyways, I had to buy my own paper, and that was kind of expensive to do it this way. So I won't make a whole lot of cards. I'm going to try and stick with my typical A7 cards and envelopes, and they come together, so I don't have to buy paper for these. Anyways, you know what I'm trying to say. So I've made 4 so far, and because I only got 4 sheets of the cardstock to make them, I stamped the back. Whoop. Oh, this one was the one that's upside down. Ah! Stamped it, and it's upside down. So yeah, isn't that cute? And this card could be for like Mother's Day, birthday, just thinking of you. It could be for a woman anyways. It could be just about whatever. So I could put different stamps here, and see, that's what I'm working on right now, is I'm going to put a stamp on each one. Right where there's a little bit of open space here, I'm going to put my For You stamp, actually right about here. And then on the corner of that, I'm going to put my little focus. I'm going to put my little bee in the corner. I don't know if I really want the bee. I'm going to just kind of see how it looks once I get my stamp on there. Now what I could do, I could put my hello stamp here, because I have the hello and I have happy birthday. So I'm going to be making more of these. So I've got to go to Hobby Lobby and get some more cardstock. They're 49 cents, which is okay. So it's actually $1 for 2 sheets of cardstock. And yeah, so that's why I'm going to try and stick with A7 in size. But for this particular project, and maybe a few others, that, you know, my doilies that I had were just too big. I could find smaller doilies, but then I'd have to find them, and you know, it's just, I kind of like this. This was more fun and different, and I like to try new things. So yeah, that's what's going on here. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to make one of these in, let's fold it this way, because there's a texture on this paper. I don't know if you can see it on here, but it's slightly textured on one side, and the other side's more smooth. I'm also going to make that card with gray, and I'll show you the flowers I'm going to use. And then when they're done later, I'll show you how it turns out. But I have these flowers, and I'm going to use probably the same size doily. Let me see. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and show you that real quick. But as far as the background goes, I don't have multiple sheets of matching paper for this, so I'm kind of not sure how that's going to work yet. If I'm just going to do a plain doily on here, or if I want to use like some polka dots or something. But you'll see later when I figure out what I'm doing. Let's find my doily sheets. Where are they? Here they are. So I get these from the Dollar Tree, and they come in a pack of different sizes. There are smaller doilies, so I could technically make an A7 smaller card, but I like to use those as smaller doilies on different projects, like where I cut them in half and put it on like the side of my card. Do I have one to show you? I think I do. Where is it? You know, I do recall making a card. Here it is. Here it is. This was it. This is my smaller doily, and I like to save the smaller doilies for things like this, because this is my A7. And I don't know. I suppose I could make, like I said, I can make my jumbo smaller, but I like to just do stuff like this. Is that the same one? Yeah, I have different, there's my envelopes for this one. It's just kind of my Victorian shabby chic look. I have different colors. And what I did is I add detail in my buttons. See how I've been putting stitching in there? That little bit of detail really just makes my card look so... It's amazing what that little tiny detail of stitching does. Like without that stitching, it just looks cheaper. And it's so neat, the little details. So that was my A7 smaller doily in my packet that I got from Dollar Tree. Speaking of Dollar Tree, guys, I have found these little things at Dollar Tree to organize with. And that's this right here. See? Whoop, 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 whoop. I don't know what I'm doing. There it is. See those little guys? Those came from Dollar Tree, and I'm putting my cards in them. I also have this, oh, here's this cute wooden basket that I'm holding cards in. And I have one up there, I have one here. I put cards down here. Trying to figure out how to get more organized with storing my cards. It'll get there. So anyways, here's my doilies. There's an even larger doily that comes in this packet that's like really big. And I really don't know yet how I'm going to use those. But these, I just kind of do that. Whoops, actually there's two here. I felt them separate. There it is. Half the time, I don't notice that. So I just fold my little doily like that. Yeah, I really need to figure out if I'm going to put a background on this like I did my yellow and white card here. So, but finding the right pattern for this one and the dark flowers that I'm going to do here. Doesn't really need a background, but I think it looks just a little bit better if it has a slight bit background. The problem here is I would probably have to use different backgrounds for this because I don't have a lot of one kind of paper print that... Oof. Had a cup of coffee and my brain's still not... Oof, just trying to catch up here. All right. So this is going to be fun, figuring out how I'm actually going to do this one. And that's what I'm working on right now. Anything else I want to share? Dollar Tree's been good to me. That's where I got these, was the Dollar Tree. And I'll show you, I think I showed before what those doilies look like in the bag. They come in a pack like this, and the smaller size is actually used already, so there's one smaller. This is the one I'm currently using. Yeah, these come from Dollar Tree, and I can't find them anywhere for $1 anywhere else I go, so I get those at Dollar Tree. It's always exciting when I can find stuff at Dollar Tree, you know? Oh, speaking of, I did just get more of this for making cards, because the ones that I just showed you, the pre-cut ones for 49 cents, yeah, I'm thinking I might just cut my own. I got the black paper instead of, because I didn't have gray and white, for more of this. Only thing is, this one's not as detailed. This white cardstock has this little tiny bumpy texture that gives it that little bit of character and detail. So while I have these, I can make those. They'll just be a little bit more plain, but I got them as a backup. So if I'm in a hurry and I just don't want to spend as much money, I can use those for this. They'll just be like slightly less detailed, but I'm starting to really like my detail these days. But for 50 cents a sheet, I was like, yeah, and that's where my weakness is. I'm like, when I see something cheap, even if it's not something I absolutely need or love, I will have a tendency to get those things and still have to overcome that. But I was thinking, you know, backup plan, cheap, it can be used, and I will make them used. So, yeah. That's what's going on here, guys. I will talk to you later, and have a good day. Bye.